Hey guys, Roygo here and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa. Today we are going to do the 5th class trial. We're going to get through this. I generally have no clue who the culprit is. If anything, it seems like we might be the culprit because I don't know. That's the only evidence we really got. It's either us or Kyoko. And I don't know which one of us could even have killed. So without thinking, let's just jump right into it. Let's see how this trial goes.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other
Are
explanation.
you oh my god. Hero, do you not realize Kyoko is literally standing like across from you? She's literally here.
Kyoko's standing right there.
She's right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Are you kidding me?
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's
Here,
traits
I
to
have
the
an
traits of
idea.
the dead
I think
body.
I can know how to prove it's not Kyoko. Here's my explanation. Kyoko is right there. She is standing right there. I'm done.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Oh wait, yeah, her gloves. Because the body had like fake nails. I don't think you can wear fake nails with gloves on.
I'm talking about her gloves.
And why would you wear
They'll
nails
give
if
us
you're
some
already
insight
wearing
into
gloves
the
all the
mystery.
time?
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
That's why that corpse was Kyoko, because she's literally standing right next to you, Hero. How do you not just use your eyes? If I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to. At this point, Monokuma, can you just like kill Hero real quick? He's like, get in our way. Get him out of here. Yeah, the fake nails. Why would you wear fake nails if you're wearing gloves all the time anyway?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Possible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
And the body wasn't wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No.
No.
I also remember what the body looked like beforehand, and it didn't have any gloves on it.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Well, it has to be Mukuro because of the wolf tattoo in the hand. Yeah, tattoo. Tattoo on right hand. Tattoo on right hand.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
If she really is alive, which is
To do that.
crazy to believe, without she's saying right there.
The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Yes, we can.
No, it's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Compare that tattoo to other information. We have the body's identity should become clear. It's just her profile, right? I think so.
I got it!
Yeah.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The thing that represents Fenrir is it's a wolf. It's a wolf. We're in chapter 5 and the game's making me spell the 4-letter word. Wow, that was so difficult.
Now I understand.
Oh my god, that was so tough. I really couldn't. It really took me forever to do that.
The
We're this far
representation
into the
of
game and I had to
Fenrir
spell a
is
4-letter word.
a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro. What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
We just said the ultimate soldier.
Been
We
gone
just
this
said
whole
that.
time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brain.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, One of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about.
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Yeah, it's me and Kyoko. I know.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
The only other suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
Time to buy discovered. It's around 9 o'clock, right? Yep.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
This game really does flashback like a little too much. Like maybe lower down the amount of flashbacks.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around, oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Remember it happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't prove an alibi for that period, I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time. I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Which is what? What, the sprinklers? Is this right, the sprinklers, right? Is that what I gotta do?
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
I shoot that.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Try to shoot. This is gonna happen in the garden at the same time every morning. Think back to the corpse was almost completely dry. In this case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have happened in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
Do that. Oh, yeah, because that's right. When do the sprinklers go? I forgot the time, but I think it is before 7:30.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at
Oh, they're set to go off
every
at
morning,
7:30.
right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
I'm just gonna go right past that. No.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you better tell us why.
Because I threw an entire bucket of water on the body. I feel like that's kind of obvious. To prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet, all I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence that she should do it. Look at the body itself, though, it should make it clear. Because I threw an entire bucket of water at the body, that's why. Why do I gotta do a bullet time battle for this? This should be obvious.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no. You don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no. I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no. I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
Okay, alright, spoil body analysis. Alright, going with the switch. Yeah, if you look at the body real quick, you will. If you would have actually remembered with your eyes that I threw an entire freaking bucket of water on the body.
Explosion.
That's why it's
You
wet.
see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place.
But then also my point doesn't stand up because there's literally a tarp in the tool shed that I don't know. There's a tarp in the tool shed that basically proved that they could have put that over the body.
Sometime after the sprinklers
No,
turned on at
so even my
7:30 in the
point
morning.
isn't accurate.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. I mean, like Mukuro's killer is. I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone. That's.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all, and as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
There's something at the scene. Yeah, the tarp that I mentioned before.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
I like how I'm just helping her out to take my alibi
You
away.
catch on quick. You're right. All All you have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
How would Kyoko say that? Or she wanted to make me look like the killer? I can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used the way Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? The body?
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Yeah, technically, if you did use the tarp, the blood would have gone on me. The blood was apparently still wet.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
There we go. So we would have at least gotten some blood on it.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? What was camouflage?
After the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinkler, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
You mean someone else's blood?
Chicken!
Where'd they get
The
that?
chicken!
Like,
I know!
That's why the chicken's gone!
Some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
That's why the chicken's missing! They covered the body with the tarp. They killed the chicken, put chicken blood on it.
That's what he
Makes
did,
sense.
right? When he pretended to be dead?
You have at least like cooked us some chicken afterwards. Like, come on.
no, that's
Hey,
not
let the
what
chicken go to
happened
waste.
this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
The blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean, yup, it is. Where is it? Chicken blood.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
wonder if
Don't
the
let the chicken go
killer
to
had
waste.
get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, At the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Damn, it's not looking good for me.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Alright, here it goes.
That's what I thought when I first saw it.
More evidence
I just
against me.
remembered.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. Thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Like, what about the arrows and bloody duct tape? Why is nobody talking about that?
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Let's check it. What is the disguised body? Hold on. Murdoch waits for the sprinklers to turn on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed a white jacket on the body. The jacket had previously been treated with blood, making it look like the corpse had been wearing it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Is it explode body analysis? So the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, meaning when the knife was touched the coat into the body. Yeah, disguised body. Okay, yeah.
It's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have
I got it.
seals it. Just because I had that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it. In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, If she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
You was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. The Monokuma file.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Alright, fragment, it's a bomb.
I got it!
It's a bomb.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. We need to concentrate. Hold on, so I think the Monokuma file said it was... They got stabbed, hit with something as thick as a metal pipe, and also various other wounds that are like multiple days
Shall
old.
we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The cover up and all those wounds in her body weren't fresh. Which one only leaves?
Then shall we
Oh,
continue
I think I know
the
what I gotta do.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the
No?
back of her head.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue the debate?
Okay, maybe I do it the other way around. Maybe I pick up the hit on the back of the head and shoot it. Hold on, let me try that.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her
Let me try this.
Then shall we continue?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Look Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you
Once
could
again,
use
Byakuya's
a real
like,
murder
we
weapon."
already know what the murder weapon is. Let's let Makoto say it. The real murder weapon. Oh yeah, I think I got it. It's the arrows. Because they used the duct tape, tied all the arrows together, and you said the arrows were they're made of like titanium. So if you tie them all together, they're basically like a metal pipe. Right?
I got it!
Yup.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame him for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. More secret. I think I gotta use a duct tape. Because they're gonna be like, oh, that's arrow isn't as thick as a metal pipe, so that can't be it.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thick.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Why the hell is the key in your
You
room?
absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Must be connected to that dojo locker. Yup, it is the key.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was In my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto
But
for
then,
the crime.
that also doesn't make sense, because Kyoko never had the key to her room. Byakuya had it the whole time.
This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me. Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Is it what I said before? Where, like, she couldn't get into her own room because she never had the key?
Those words you just spoke.
When the body was found, hold on. Whoops, not that. When Makoto was awake in the morning, Konami arrived in the dining hall. Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head in the headmaster's room. Alright.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
I'm gonna try something. Because they gave her a room. Yeah, the Byakuya, which would mean.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the
Sure.
killer.
Yeah, hold on.
Master would never hide.
There's proof that you
Proof, let's try this.
aren't the culprit.
Yup. Because clearly, she never had the key to her room. So how the hell could she have gone in her room if she never had the key?
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then you're the
obviously
killer.
I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. A clear contradiction of what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this isn't like her. Try and save herself with such a desperate lie? She really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Because there's something else. Some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? I don't know. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What could I... Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. The only one who knows it's a lie. And the only one who can expose it. Who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. I don't know what the hell's going on. What do I do? Decide right here and now whether or not to expose her lie. Oh, interesting. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I do kind of agree with Kyoko that I'm starting to think is unless I like sleep killed and like killed when I was sleeping, which I don't think that happened. And also, would Kyoko really kill solely because you're the mastermind? I'ma kill you. I don't know if she would do that. I do kind of believe that maybe no one in here is... What if this is like the mastermind trap? What if no one's the killer and the mastermind is trying to get like Kyoko killed? I don't know. I do kind of trust Kyoko though, so... Hold on, wait. I can't save my game, god damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna trust Kyoko with this, I'm just gonna let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. Because I do kind of agree that this is like the trap from the mastermind. So I don't think I'm the killer. I don't think Kyoko's the killer. I don't think anybody here's the killer. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
Oh wait, but also letting it go means everyone's gonna think I'm the killer.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Okay, we're just gonna have to try and explain that the mastermind's the killer in like the next, I don't know how much time we have left.
Someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us.
Yup.
So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up. Huh? Time's up. Class trials all over.
Why the hell?
Everyone
There was
can
never a
stop
time
talking
limit.
now.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting
What?
time.
Why is
Okay?
there a time?
Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Okay, wait, what do we do? We couldn't explain who the mastermind was. Do I just like take a guess? And it's like, is it this person the mastermind? Is it this person? Oh wait, no wait, am I gonna get voted? Wait, am I about to die? Because this isn't looking good for me. I didn't have enough time to explain that it's the mastermind's trap. Everybody thinks I'm the killer. This isn't actually good for me.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Hey, hold on. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Wait, hold on, yeah, what's gonna happen? Wait, oh no, I don't have a good feeling about this. Okay. Okay, what? I'm dead. Am I about to die? Am I about to get executed? Okay, first off, you're not correct. I don't know why it says guilty. I'm pretty sure I didn't murder anyone. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, Okay, wait a minute. Good job?
Yep.
Hey, they got it right. No, wait a minute. My memory could definitely be wrong. If I remember correctly, I didn't murder anyone. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Did Kyoko actually, like, murder someone and, like, try to, like, push it off me? Cause I'm not the killer. What's going on here? Alright, Makoto's about to die. Alright. Makoto's been found guilty time for his punishment. What's gonna happen? I'm a little worried. Because I didn't really want to die yet. Kind of wanted to win. I am about to get executed, apparently. Alright. Damn, okay, I'm about to get crushed. This doesn't look good for me. I'll see, I'm the ultimate lucky student, so this should be based off my talent, but... Right? I don't see that. I don't feel that freaking lucky right now, huh? Yeah, that doesn't look that. But actually, honestly, that's not that bad of a punishment. Because if you get crushed, you're gonna instantly die, so you won't actually feel any pain. I'm fine with this. It's instant death. You won't feel any pain of it. You'll just immediately just be whoop dead. I love a monk was just trying to teach me a freaking lesson. He's teach me like a freaking like class lesson or something like before I get crushed. Like, what is he doing? What the frick is he teaching? What is that? That looks like sperm. I don't know what the hell that is. Okay, yeah, I'm about to die. Alright, well, I guess it's for me. I guess I'm gone. Wait a minute. Chihiro? What? Wait a minute. What? Oh, Alter Ego just freaking saved me. Oh. Alright. Well, okay, now I'm going into the empty pit. I don't know if this is any better. Yeah, I don't know if this is any better than getting crushed. It looks like it's still pretty far drop. I don't know if I'm gonna survive that. So wow, Alter Ego just straight up like saved me. Alright. Huh? What is this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from a stupid guy? What's the point? They want me to invade my network. Damn it, all the hell, I don't believe this. Seems like I made a miscalculation. And you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I probably felt a thing. It was a pinch. An itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat. You're never gonna see him again. He was away in a garbage stone pit. No way, that's an even better special punishment. It's not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Shoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell's going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words.
How it's the mastermind that's ensnared. What are you talking about?
So.
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Okay, what happened to me though? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school center. Why am I back at the beginning of the game? Like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy brings in students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Staying there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What the hell's going on? What? Where am I? Woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what am I doing asleep here just now? There wasn't any classroom I've ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Whoa, a lot of freaking trash here. Finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. It was just another dream. A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. This isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. Just be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here and be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? I can't let that happen. And after what my good friend went through to save me, I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. He used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit for survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. How about the big old door? Also, is this the rocket ship from like the very beginning of the game? It might be. It's locked. I don't know how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it wouldn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be easy. Well, if I'm not gonna get out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. I can't be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. It's not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was to go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was the only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Got some food in here? A giant piece of trash just fall down here? I quickly stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash? Rude. How the hell is Kyoko down here? Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. How did she get down here?
It smells...
The place smells awful. Kyoko?
Indeed.
I think you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. Glad to hear that, Kyoko. I mean, you got a bit of garbage in your hair. Gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. I've got all the energy I need to keep going. Still haven't given up then. Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. That's such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, now what though? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
Pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. That's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there's a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why do you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive,
In other words...
so I can do what I came to school to do. What? I made my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once? Till recently I've forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... So did she remember who she was? And is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
You remember Makoto? Remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
Fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. What would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. Seems much too inconvenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory? Because
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because my purpose, my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. If what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, we would have all worked as one. The mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make it too big of a deal out of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind is one of us. If she believed that, then of course you couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself. That's why I asked you to help me. But why me? Among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
You're good. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Yeah, it's just nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
And now I still trust you, you know. It's just I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I've never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. thought that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Alright, mentioned your ability. My ability, where everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Ultimate detective. Well, that makes sense, because you like, actually search bodies every single time. That actually makes sense. And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. I had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. Headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? And that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved. Oh, it's starting to all slowly connect. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense. Listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I said what I felt based on what I've seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. Meaning that the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using my key I found. But why there? Because I've also found that in the headmaster's room. There's some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was made into a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had some to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely have more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So he went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
Once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, the part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Just keep talking to her?
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there's no cameras or monitors, so I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It had to do with Mukuro Kasaba, doesn't it?
However...
To be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her, and I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but me and you had an alibi, so then who did kill her? What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Kasaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Oh, okay, so I was kinda right.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That made it sound like the mastermind themselves are somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Kusaba. What's that? To the point where Mukuro may not have been the victim. Could have been you, Makoto. I could have been the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Oh, they showed up to my room because they were going to try and kill me, and then I would have been the dead body, and then Kyoko would have been the one to get killed. During the night? I hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I think the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
It's exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away, and as I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran to your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, that they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Well, this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. But doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
Right, that is a contradiction. It's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. What does this all mean?
In other words...
It means that the mastermind is the one who's cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. We're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. A tragedy, whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair? A despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Okay, chapter 5 is over. Oh, yeah, we're all good. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. This is starting to get interesting. Also, that went by really fast because the trial was cut short. I got the Dream Island rocket. Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this episode of Danganronpa here. Just like that, chapter 5 is over. And this also means we are only one chapter away from finishing this game. So anyways, in the next episode, we're going to begin the final chapter and see if we can start maybe figuring out who the mastermind may be inside of this school. But anyways, I'm going to leave this episode here. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you leave a like down below. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Keep in mind, it's totally free. You can unsubscribe anytime. And it'll help me get to 600 subscribers before the end of the year. And as always, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next episode.